There we go. Now I'm finally hearable. See where my people at. Yo, what's up, everybody? It is good to be back. To make sure real quick on audio. Hello, hello. I'll give it a second. Yo, what's up, Christian Jacobs? Good to see you, man. It is good. Yeah, it looks like audio is indeed golden. Yo, what we here to talk about today, boys? What we here to talk about today? Yeah, hit us with it. Hit us with it. What we here to talk about today? I'm just hanging out tonight. Honestly, that's a spare time. Thought I'd sit back, see what was up, chill with you guys, play some games, see what was memeing. I've been AFK for a while, so I thought I'd jump on and see what you guys were up to. Because DC has not been throwing out jack. Anyone gonna watch John Wick 4? I'm not crazy big into the John Wick franchise. I mean, I'll give it a shot if it does come out, though. Ooh, I guess that's what we really could talk about if we wanted to. We could talk about good old Quantumania. Oh my god, kill me. That one was an interesting one, boys. Spawn? Does Spawn have a show coming out currently? Or are you just saying like in general? How's life going? Life is going pretty interesting right now. There's a lot of things happening in the real world for good old Lumos. That's been pretty pretty interesting to say the least. But I'm still swinging. I'm making it happen. Been a little bit less active, as I'm sure everyone can tell by my upload rate. But hopefully it'll change in the future, depending on some stuff. But we'll see what happens. I get more busy. Yeah, MODOK definitely looked like... Plus his whole origin was fucking weird as hell inside that shit. So yeah, like... I might have to do my like a whole video into itself on like Quantumania. I probably should have just done it the second I stepped out of the damn movie theater, but like... Yeah... That was an interesting take. The MCU is just a weird verse, man, is all I'm gonna say. Like once they ran out of the original characters to do, they're like really struggling to kind of find some level or some sense of identity right now within the context of the MCU, and it's honestly kind of sad. Christian says the book Scorch, Spawn, King Spawn. Spawn has some really interesting stuff, especially from like a meta narrative perspective, because even in, I want to say it's like in the first, not even 50 issues, it might be the first like 20, where he winds up basically just like assuming the mantle of like housing his own identity separate than any other comic book character that exists in the current meta, or in that current meta. That's actually like pretty whack when you think about it. Spawn has some really good stuff, and of course he fights some pretty absurd demons and stuff like Malvoltia, and of course he winds up becoming like literally gone at one point in time. It's just crazy as hell. But yeah, so I mean, it just kind of depends. Spawn's really cool. He's a really underrated character, and definitely one of the better characters from oh, what the fuck, is he Dark Horse or is he Image? I think he's Image. Yeah, he's Image, because he crosses over with, oh, what the hell is his name? Invincible. Yeah. What else? What else you guys got for me? Hit me with the down low. And although I might have been slacking on cranking out the content for you guys, I have been taking some good scans for some paid content for some people. Yo, what's up, Ice Bear? Nico, however you say it. Good to have you coming by, my friend. We're just chilling, man. Feel free to throw some questions into the mix if you're down to come up with some. Because right now, honestly, we're just kind of chilling, talking about a little bit of everything. Oh, thanks, man, for the 4K. I appreciate that. Let's see. Congrats for 4K. Woo! That's the big W, man. I'm super hyped for that. I'm not gonna lie. I know it's not like a crazy big number or anything like that, but I pain trained really hard during the month of February / the end of January, and I'm looking at like the numbers and stuff that I was getting. I mean, and I've gotten almost like 500 full subscribers in that month. That's pretty OG, I'm not gonna lie. That's feeling pretty good in terms of what I'm used to, at least. Let's see. What else we got here? What's my thoughts on 5D presents? Says Casual. It's pretty silly stuff. Good old I don't remember who set up that meta, like the webcam shit, or maybe it's just like the Marvel haters who come up with a 5D presence meta, but it's pretty funny. Presence is out here like wandering the overvoid, and these guys think he's 5D. Like, well, imagine. Let's see what else we got rolling here. Who wins, Ewok or Adam from Record of Ragnarok? Ewok has some really fucked up shit. It would really depend on whether you believe Adam could adapt to, like Ewok's abilities. I don't believe he could. I think he would just speed blitz personally, but, I could see some interpretations, like lowball ends for like Ewok to make him somewhere on the level of being capable of reacting in the first place to some of the shit, that Ewok does. Would I go bold for $10,000? Dude, hell yeah I would. That'd be an easy 10K to make. Sign me up. Dude, I'd go bald for 1,000 subs, bro. That's what I would do. That'd be an easy take. What kind of easy questions are these? Yo, what's up, jobbers and goons hanging out down low? Appreciate it. Thanks for the shout outs on 4K. That's a big W, my friends. Let's see what else we got repping over here. Oh, Image has been hyping up a new Gaia Heaven Hell War? That would be pretty dope. Rockin' Alice shitting on Wally over here. Let's go. Let's go. Look at this chat over here. This is like, it's like being in the Discord with the rest of these goons, man. Let's see. Do I want to have a comic character inside your universe? Hell yeah. Make Lumos a character, man. Make him a character befitting of my personality. Let's see. Oh, looks like we got some Splash fans in chat. That's a W. Some good old Jobbers and Goons fans. Goku Versal is only a tier for people. Yo, Casual says Goku Versal should be a tier. Goku Versal is only a tier for Goku tards. Like, you can only use that whenever you're referring to people who just like ludicrously wank Dragon Ball fans like into oblivion, or Dragon Ball characters like into oblivion. So like whenever like a Dragon Ball wanker is going like real hard and saying like, you know, high out or Goku like confirmed and like all this shit, that guy's Goku Versal, but no character actually is Goku Versal. Okay, that's just how it works. And DC hasn't had shit happen in a while though. I ain't gonna sugarcoat it. That's actually pretty low-key weak sauce right now. Like the event they have going is total ass. It's very rip. Sucks to be DC right now. I ain't gonna sugarcoat it. Seems like Marvel's like rolling in some pretty good shit, but like DC just does not have it going for them. DC's big news in recent days has literally been nothing but, oh my god, dude, look, like, they have a slate of movies they're doing, like, oh, isn't that impressive? In, like, 3 to 5 years, we'll actually have good DC content. No! Yo, let's see. Obscure DC characters that should get a movie. It depends on what you mean by obscure, because for, like, comic book readers and stuff like that, I mean, obscure gets really weird. But for, like, the average person, like, Lobo would be considered an obscure character to, like, fucking, like, comic book normies, right? Or, like, I mean, fuck, pretty much any of the Lanterns. I think Firestorm, who's actually a really notable character, like, a leaguer who's been on the league consistently since the 90s. Like, I think he could do really well inside a, like, a movie. I think, having him there to kind of, having like Dr. Stein there to kind of balance him out, I think would be a really cool and like an enjoyable experience. Yeah, Doomsday did get a pretty weird amp inside one of the tie-ins recently. Like, just the psychic resonance of him was like fucking up Martian Manhunter. That shit was pretty funny. Wally, a Goku versal being. Disgusting. Imagine the downplay. Let's see, we have... Yeah, Rockin', I think most of what was scheduled for the DCU is like 3 to 5 years from now, give or take. Let's see. This is for Morningstar Solos Marvel. He'd definitely be up there at the very top, if not doing so. I don't fuck with Marvel cosmology very much because that shit's like stale to me. Like it doesn't hit the same to me as DC cosmology for some reason. Like I don't know why. But yeah, I just don't like he's like Lucifer is really terrifyingly powerful, especially like he just has really good, like, solid feats, man. Even if you try to, like, lowball or downplay anything that's going on for, like, Lucifer, even with the worst, most lowball interpretation that's, like, actually not just absolute garbage, you're not just, like, saying everything about him is just not good, then, like, he's still, like, rolling around the entire overvoid. And depending on... like phrasing and words and stuff, he literally became one with it, or became it itself. So like, yeah, he's definitely up there. He'd be swinging hands at the big boys. Question could make for a really good movie if I'm being honest. Like, I'm not crazy into like down to earth, like characters and stuff like that. That stuff doesn't traditionally appeal to me, like in the high end, outside of crossing over with other characters. I like the really fun, like odd, abstract level stuff, or like concept, like ideas. I like ideas more than I like a lot of individual characters and stuff. But I could really see them doing a good job on him for sure. Plus, it'd be fucking easy, dude. If you could do a Batman movie, like that would be a cakewalk. Hey, what's up, Nick? Welcome to the party, bro. Let's see. Doomsday's thought level. Yeah, he really did like mind hacks the literal shit out of him. That shit was hilarious. Yeah, Vertigo's pretty underrated in terms of like ability. I think a lot of people just think it doesn't fit into the current canon, so there's nothing usable from it. And I don't know if I go that far, but it's definitely got some weird stuff going on for it. Definitely far stronger than I think a lot of people give credit for it. Which is funny because that's where a lot of the really whack, like high ends that we're aware of in the current day, like that's where we get a lot of that information too, which is pretty funny. That fucking guy would die. Yeah. So is omnipotent true, but like omnipotent omnipotence has layers, right? And like levels of meaning. Like even if he was, like, I mean, every character is omnipotent to a certain level, right? Like within like the context of like DC cosmology, like on a higher level. Omnipotent to what place, I think, is the real question one has to be asking. But especially with like the more recent shit for like Toa, like he definitely is not the top dog in verse as established so far. So in the new Defender shit, which is like super unfortunate. Now he's like the one above most, which is like lol. Goddamn. These Presence fans haven't had that moment yet, okay? Like, Marvel might really be going ham and like really be going crazy on releasing content and trying to expand their shit and like moving further and stuff, but at least their OG final boss, God figured, like didn't get fucking Omega milled. That shit was meme. Couldn't believe that shit. Ooh, a Dexstar movie? Dexstar would be dope, but if you watched my my shorts, you would know he's actually not dead. That's for all my OG Shorts fans out there who have been around long enough to know about that meme. My God. I should start doing story time with Lumos, where I can tell people of all the craziest fucking stories that have happened as time has went on. Yo, when Lost Soul becomes the president of Earth, he'll declare that he's omnipotent. That's a W. Well, declare you're omnipotent and declare me a big old pile of cash, okay? I think that would be... I think that's what the people want, really. If I have to speculate, yeah, that's what all 4,000 of my subscribers and all 8 million of the people who aren't subscribed to me that watch my content, yeah, that's what they all want, trust me. Jesus, dude, look at the waves of these things. He's Toem now. One above most, yeah. Dude, you guys in chat are always the greatest, man. Lucifer reading's going, not bad. I don't want to get into that. I might cover some of that shit as time goes on too, so. Cause I might have to, honestly, I might have to use some of that shit inside my, like some of that Lucifer shit inside my, Trigon. I got a video coming out here in a bit with Casual, who's blowing up chat over here. I had a video coming out down the way on, dude, I posted this fucking Trigon short a while back. And I swear to God, dude, these fucking Trigon fans, like if you haven't checked it out, definitely do. It's about like, yo, why does DC hate Trigon? And I did it like, unironically, as like a guy who thinks Trigon has potential and is underutilized. Like, yo, like why does he hate him? Why is he not in the Dark Army? Why is he not established as being like, you know, one of these goons, like one of these guys, like one of those dudes? And I swear to God, is everybody in that fucking, every single person inside that damn chat, I'm not even kidding, is like, because he's too strong. He's not a team player. He wouldn't have worked with everyone. And I just hear that shit and I'm like, bro, you think fucking Upside Down Man or Darkseid are like fucking team players? Like, hell no. The entire story leading up to Dark Crisis was literally Darkseid not being a team player. Like, like, I don't understand what these people, like, they're so dumb. Like, the Trigon fans have like deluded themselves into believing that they are like genuinely, like Trigon is like genuinely that guy. Like, he's up there with like Presence and like Lucifer and shit. Like, it's unbelievable to me. Like, 'cause as a guy, which I'll admit, I don't fuck with a lot of like Trigon content, but like, I can't name a good Trigon feat other than a statement. Well, besides I guess Injustice shit. Now you can say he fought Mixie, and then they were banished to a realm outside of creation, and thus were never seen again, except for both of them are always seen. So like, I don't know what's going on there. I don't know what's going on with that. We'll just forget about how that ended. I guess they just forgot about the verse and never came back. Trigon, man. I fucking lost to Bizarro one time. Talk about disgustingly stupid. Fucking Bizarro. How do you lose to Bizarro? How? How you gonna lose to your boy Bizarro? Like, come on, bro. He's Bizarro. What's happening? I can't think of another God Sphere level character who'd roll up on Bizarro and be like, oh, fuck, dude. Fuck, I'm gonna get one tap by Bizarro. The thought of that shit is hilarious to me. Yo, hit me up for everyone else who's joining. I noticed I got a little bit more people than I did before. Hit me up down low. What you guys want to talk about? Hit me with the new topic or I'll bitch about Trigon until the day I die, okay? Yeah, Upside Down Man is not getting bullied by fucking Teen Titans, okay? That's just that's just not happening. I skimmed through that story, and I know the Teen Titans aren't pulling up on Upside Down Man, okay? Fucking Upside Down Man. Or even would look at him and just get like auto-negged, auto-deleted, and not even know why. Uh-oh, here we go. UDM's #1 on Casual Person's Dark Army list. Well, that's how you know he's probably not, because if good old Casual says he is, then clearly that's not the case. Rock Analysis Darkseid would never lose to Discount Superman or Teenagers. Yeah, I guess not Discount Superman for sure. He ain't losing unless it's a big boy. Oh, I mess with these deceleration webs. Yeah, that's pretty dope. Oh, come on. I know y'all chattier in this action over here. I'm really hoping... God, we're almost to March, man. I'm just waiting. I'm waiting and waiting and waiting. Though I think the Green Lantern content all got like fucking auto-negged, unfortunately. I really just want this GL content to come out, and then just the new DC shit, dude. Other than what we have now, the stuff coming out now hasn't been too like exciting or anything. I want a League run to come out that's like actually enjoyable. And to start exploring some shit past what we know. Sometimes I feel like I'm the cartographer of DC, because I just kind of like exploring around the place. But unfortunately, DC does like to do that, but never make it anything contained, which is super fucking annoying. Damn you, DC! Who would I want the next Batman villain to be? I think Batman's like 8 fucking trillion villains already. I'm tired of Batman in Gotham, but like his sorry ass. It's like Superman inside it's like Superman inside like Metropolis, right? Like Superman in Metropolis gets old as fuck. I'd rather see Superman like trying to solve like major like cosmic crisis and stuff. Like that'd be way cooler. And then use like John Kent for that character. And I feel like it's kind of the same, man. We just need to see Batman move on from that shit and start trying to do like actually relevant shit, but people don't like him in that role. Kind of like when Peter Parker went from, you know, he's just Peter Parker to like trying to mess with like Parker Industries, which the Goblin had set up for him, or not the Goblin, Doc Ock had kind of set up for him. Like some people get mad at the evolution of a character, but it just makes so much more sense. And I would like that so much more for both Batman and Superman. Just like stop fucking around with goddamn Metropolis and goddamn like Gotham already. Like like to be fair, it is like the major hubs on the world of like Earth, but like, man, come on, like okay. Yeah, they got rid of the Justice League. Everyone's just like old and like doesn't want to do it anymore. And really it's like their way to kind of sell the younger heroes and market the younger heroes. Like I get it. But the problem is like every time they do this shit, which is like 3 to 5 years for the Justice League becomes super irrelevant. There's a big event and then the Justice League decides, oh fuck, like it's important that we all work together again. And we should probably do that in the future. I don't know why in the fuck we thought it was a bad idea for us not to. And like the most recent iteration of that was like good guys and villains like all like simultaneously doing that again, and it's like, okay, like I guess we just didn't really actually learn from that last experience, but okay. Yo, Kelso Pereira says, just passing in to support Lumos, also Finn the Human, Phantom Lantern, Huntress Wizard as a Universal Lantern. Finn the Human would make a very interesting lantern. I actually watch a shit ton of Adventure Time, and that would be really intriguing. If I had to, yeah, he would be Fear or Will. I could see that like 100%. That's really interesting. I think a lot of characters in Adventure Time, you have to have a very large body of information to kind of grab what they would be emotionally. I say Finn would be Will or Fear because he was so driven at the end of the series. It's like a coin. You could look at it from either perspective. He was so driven at the end of the series to either have found Jake because that was his goal, or he was terrified of not being able to be reincarnated alone. And that's why that entire last whole experience where he chased like Jake's soul all the way to the 50th level of Nirvana, the 50th level of the afterlife to Nirvana, in order to like make sure that they could have that experience again. Let's see. Ice Bear and Nico says, oh, hold up. I'm getting pinged. I'm getting 8 million pings from the server over here. Okay. Let's roll back. I'm gonna pop out this chat so it's a little bit closer to me. I don't feel like I can see you guys at all. I feel like I'm looking way over here when I shouldn't be. Okay. Let's give this bad boy another shot here. Okay, I'm aware of new moderation memes. Okay, Ice Bear Nika says he wants to see more DC 1 million Spire stuff. Loved 853rd century DC comics and stories in the future. I think it's cool when they just sometimes step away from what they're normally doing and try something a little bit off the wall, like a unique take on it, even if it is an alternative world and stuff like that. There's still stories that could be really, really interesting stories and definitely worth kind of what you want to do with them, right? Like, take for example, like Earth 2, or like Injustice is another prime example. Either one of those stories are awesome stories. They're some of the best stories I think that ever could have really been told within the confines of DC. Like I would put Injustice as one of the best stories in DC, as even though it's just like an Elseworld story. And Earth 2 is definitely up there as well. Just because the story isn't in the main continuity doesn't inherently make it bad. But I feel like a lot of people feel like it devalues the ability to tell the story because it didn't happen to like the OG versions of the characters. So I don't know. I would like to have a debate with somebody on or like a genuine conversation on like, do multiverse stories distract from the overall like story you're telling? I think that would be that'd be like a really interesting like idea. I'd love to have that conversation with somebody who doesn't agree with me. Let's see. The new Superman stuff should be a Blue Lantern or a Green Lantern. I think it would be really interesting. I think it would be really interesting to have. Oh. I think it'd be really interesting to journey around with, like, clearly Superman is represented by the concept of hope. But what is John Kent represented by? Right? I think exploring that could be really intriguing. And where exactly he would line up, and like what ring he would willingly take and be like considered a an actually legitimate consistent member of. I don't know. I don't read enough like lesser I hate to say lesser, but like I don't read a lot of John Kent stuff. But from what I'm aware, I think love would be a very interesting idea to explore with John Kent. He's an extremely loving person. He's always looking out for other people, not necessarily himself. And he's afraid of a lot of stuff, dude. He's he just kind of keeps on trucking. But like I said, I'm not as involved with him, so like I couldn't fucking tell you. Let's see what else we got. We got Casual being salty at Wonder Woman. Cool. My god, this shit, get off of me. Let's see. Yeah, Jesus, Wally going fucking 10 out of 10 on Wonder Woman over here. Yeah, she did kind of hand up all that power, which was big rip. Rockin' Allison says, in reference to that, you mean like Wonder giving up on a very important job, causing a dark crisis? Oh, I mean, yeah, like, in a certain sense, she did. Like, she did hand up that role, but, like, who am I to dictate somebody should have to have that, like, godhood? Godhood in DC is a weird idea. And Wonder Woman is attained it multiple times, and on multiple levels, so, I don't know, man. She saw that as a life not worth existing, and I know Hal Jordan has very similar ideas to like looking at godhood, where it's just like gods don't really get to live; they just get to exist as that idea. Versus people looking at gods get to embody whatever idea they have and look to that god for like a splinter of themselves. The concept of not having freedom or free will is a very interesting one that gods have to deal with in DC. Whoa, what the fuck was this stream drop? God damn, I lost almost everyone there for a second. That's fucking weird. Yeah, that was pretty mean. I don't know, what else you guys want to chat about? Hit me up. Come on, I know y'all chatty as fuck. Y'all always want me to talk about shit. Let's see. Fixing Dragon Ball Z characters, giving them rings, Skrull's Green Lantern, Yamcha's blue, or Sinestro. I don't know if throwing a Green Lantern ring would fix characters necessarily. But there's a lot of things you could do, definitely, to fucking fix Dragon Ball characters. They have so many problems right now. I mean, number one is 90% of them aren't even getting screen time. Let's just be real. Like, that's happening. And it's pretty rough. If I'm being pretty honest. Big rip. Okay, rotating back. Sorry, I had a few things I had to take care of there, boys. So, yeah, the whole Dragon Ball conversation, that could be a video unto itself, man. There's a lot of shit going on there. Who's dumber, Wonder Woman for giving up being a judge or for Trigon losing to nobodies? Definitely Trigon. That's not even close. Like, Rock, we're not even years with like within reference of one another. If we're talking like how stupid Trigon is, man has all the power ever, and he loses to everyone, intentionally or not. It's L Town for Trigon. I mean, come on. Actually, I just realized I have my damn music in the fucking game still on. It's just too loud. It's probably blowing you guys up. Need to get that synthwave repping. Let's see here. I'd love to see Earth 2 like Green Lantern show, like where they focus on more of like Alan Scott. Is that what you mean over there, Lost Soul? Let's see. Kelso says everybody needs to be a Green Lantern, man. It doesn't matter, okay? So Lost has the hot take of the century here. Is anyone else getting tired of the multiverse stuff? It's everywhere now. I think a large part to that, like, I feel like DC really, I'm not gonna say coined it, but really pushed hard on that idea, like the idea of like making the multiverse important, and it was mainly just a way to explain the canonicity of like all the different stories DC had at the time. But like the problem is more so with like the idea of power creep. Power creep got really extreme in comics because it's been going on for so long, and people don't, a lot of people, not always, mainly mainly like the people supporting the content, they think the only things that sell are big events that push the boundaries of what's possible and not possible, because that's when the biggest like sales happened last. And so that's all they really care about. So whenever those companies are all in financial jeopardy, they always just ask for like big events and shit, and those oftentimes deal with the multiverse, because that is like, as a concept, one of the bigger end things that we have in our verse in general. So yeah, it gets a little weird, but like, I mean, what do you do? I like the idea of the multiverse and tampering with it. I think there's ways you can effectively use it, and ways you can't, or ways that clearly are not. And I think that, like, to be fair, I'm one of the guys who goes pretty hard into Dark Crisis as to saying it wasn't an absolutely garbage event, which is apparently a hot take. But, like, I don't think that was the most effective way to utilize the multiverse in general, within the context of, like, storytelling in general, or specifically within DC. There's definitely ways they could have used it better, and I'll stand by that. Like, I won't agree with the totality of the statement, but like, I get this sentiment, like, for sure. Casual says multiverse stuff is fine, but a crisis event every Tuesday is annoying as fuck. I mean, I definitely do agree with that, but like, the flip side to that is, like, we get these events, right? And there are events like the one we're currently in, where it's like, okay, like this is the event. this is where we're at, right? Like, I mean, King Firebull is the current villain, okay? Like, that's where we're at right now. Like, I would rather take the sacrifice of us having to deal with, like, a multiversal calamity every so often, than have, like, garbage ass events that are effectively worthless. Like, they don't matter. Like, they're just bad writing. Like, they don't really mean anything. Like, nobody remembers them. They're forgettable. Like, yeah, like, I don't know, man. Let's see. Yeah. Kelso's right, man. New White Lantern story definitely needs to happen. I would love to follow up on his story and just kind of see exactly, to hear what the function of that idea was. Like beyond what we have currently, because beyond, like, right now what we have for the White Lantern is Kyle just so happened to be a guy who could do something that had never happened before and alter all of the rules that were established by the source itself. So, like, it would be dope to have more context as to what's going on there. Because whenever somebody acts off model, and I use that terminology intentionally, because that's what the presence, or at least one of his avatars, told John Stewart whenever he started acting off model, is he like showed up and was like, "Yo, you're like doing some shit. Like you gotta stop acting off model, bro. Like, you're wildin'." So if he didn't show up during all of that, or he intentionally let Kyle manipulate him, hence he manipulated the source, that makes me like wonder, like, was Kyle unintentional, or was all of that according to his plan? And if it was all according to his plan, then he planned it. So I don't know. It gets weird. It'd be cool to hear in those two alternative potential universes, like, or I guess I can't even say universes, like multiversal paths for Kyle. Like, if he had, if DC chose to take up either of those storylines, like, how would they fulfill both of those? I think those would both be really interesting ideas. Yeah, the presence is above, if not, the presence like is the source, if that makes sense. The judges, that makes it sound like they control the source, but that is clearly, that is clearly not the case. The presence is always established as being the big boy. But who knows? The way Marvel's switching things up, fucking the next time we come across the fucking judges of the source, especially them being sold every fucking 10 seconds by a company to another company, like, they might just fucking retcon all of that and make the fucking presence the one above most. Oh my god, the irony, huh? Wouldn't that shit be funny? Wouldn't that be hilarious? Let's see. What else you guys want to talk about, huh? I really, you know, that's definitely something I need to, like, fucking just sit down and do. I really need to make a fucking Corona video, dude. Holy shit. Corona's so OG, dude. And it's weird, because we just randomly get some of the, like, random references to him still in the current day. Like, it's so odd. Like, even during, like, Metal, like, Corona was being referenced for some reason. Like, what? Why y'all out here bringing Corona up? Like, and he's dead. He's been dead for, like, fucking a decade, okay? Like, just chill. Fuck, he's been dead for over a decade now, hasn't he? Yeah, literally over a decade. I think it was 2009, 2010? Maybe 11? Maybe 11 when he died. Oh, his body died, and then I think Volthoom killed his soul later on. For the lulz, because, I mean, it's Volthoom, bro. Let's see. What's my favorite Superman story? Ooh, that's tough. I'm not like crazy into Superman. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I'm trying to think of like the most homie Superman fucking storyline I could think of. This is gonna sound really bad, but I don't like Superman when he's by himself. I like him when he bounces off other people. I think his takes in Tower of Babel were awesome. Like I like Justice League comics far more than I like most individual characters. Like solo runs and stuff like that. Like for sure. And one of the many reasons I like the Green Lanterns content is for that reason too, right? It's like all the Lanterns, like they're working with one another. Like you read Green Lantern and chances are in almost every single comic book run you're gonna fuck with, you're gonna be running into multiple of the Earth Lanterns, like all working together. So like I like it when people bounce off one another. So like solo run wise, I don't know. Like it's just for Superman, for me, it's more like he just has moments where he just like really stands out. Like pretty much like the entire time Hal is like parallax, Superman's like trying to give him a chance, and Batman's like trying to murder him. And Superman really does just like the whole time just sit there and be like homie to Hal. Like it is really like really impressive in terms of how like that relationship works out. And now he just has moments like where he always is just the most reinforced homie he could be. Doomsday Clock was pretty good with Superman in terms of testing and pushing his morality. I think that was pretty interesting. In a way that like actually mattered. I don't know, that's tough. I'd really sit down and think about that because Superman has so many fucking stories. Yeah, I'm gonna have to think on that one. Oh, this might be it, boys. Holy shit. Yeah, I got ramsacked. Let's see what else we got in chat. Hal Jordan becoming new Ion. He'd watch 100% new Krona. Yeah, Krona definitely needs to come back. All these motherfucking losers coming back from the dead, Krona needs to come back, okay? That's just how it has to be. That's how it has to be. Yeah, no lie. Might be the video. The Krona video might be the video everyone may not want, but what they need. You are not wrong there, boys. New Elden Ring DLC coming out? Hell yes, I'll play that. Wait, is it out? How did I miss Elden Ring DLC being talked about? The fuck? Lost Soul, hit me up. Hit me with this information. I'm dying to know. Favorite Superman moments rather than individual story? Favorite Superman moments? Oh man, at Death Metal when he overcomes all of the individual... like all of the individual kryptonites as well as the anti-life combined. I think Superman during Death of the New Gods was really good, the way he interacted with all of the different gods in that run. I really liked him in that. Emerald Twilight, he was awesome in. Any of the 90s Green Lantern run where Superman would show up, he was fucking fire. He was just such a homie to Kyle. The 2004-2005 Green Lantern Rebirth, he was very supportive despite how kind of low-key looking like a terrorist. It just, yeah, the World Forger moment was really good. Oh, the moment, actually, you know what, best moment for Superman? The father-son punch trying to reach the infinite building that Mixie had created for Superman to climb. That shit was actually one of the best moments in Superman's entire history. Okay? Like that shit was really fire. And he fused with his New 52 and post-crisis forms together. That was some good shit. That was some real good shit. We need a Hal and Barry run. I agree. I think a Hal and Barry run would be really cool. But honestly, Barry's like off doing multiversal shit right now. I don't know if that would be a good idea because like you'd be taking characters in like opposite directions from what narratively they've been establishing them to do. Because like Barry's been like, hey, I want to go on like a multiversal cataloging event where I'm going to catalog the multiverse and kind of see what it's like. And Hal's like, I need to get back to my roots on Earth. So what would be dope is Hal goes back to Earth and hangs out with Wally. And Wally's kind of settling in his like the Flash of Earth in the current moment. I think it'd be cool for those two to run off and have some adventures with one another and try and have like Wally's unbridled hope and like sense of family kind of reinvigorate a very nihilistic and negative Hal Jordan, because he's been out in space dealing with space shit. He's lost any chance he's possibly had at Carol. He's fucked up everything at every turn. He was a shit leader. He had to hand that shit off to Jon Stewart. Everybody died whenever he was leader. And the universe is even more broken. The multiverse is even more broken than it ever was. And I think Hal would internalize that and put all that shit on his shoulders, and he'd need somebody like Wally to kind of show him, hey, you're just doing what you can. Like, despite you being space willpower guy, like, you're not the only piece of the pie that exists. You can only solve for this amount of people. You're trying to solve for the whole pie when nobody could cover the whole pie. That's why we have the Justice League. And that would be like a really good way to like reintegrate him and like pull him back into the forefront of being, you know, like kind of the guy he was, and remind him, hey, this is who you are, this is who you need to be, and this is kind of like what you should be doing going forward. And plus there's just all sorts of really interesting things that I think those two need to have moments for, because they had like, they always reference each other as like uncle, and like Wally references him as uncle and stuff like that. It'd be cool to flesh out that story a lot more, especially now that they're equals. Because whenever he showed up to Earth during Dark Crisis, Hal did, he like didn't believe shit for Wally at all. Like he genuinely didn't believe shit for Wally. And that was kind of unfortunate. He was like, oh, Black Adam said that shit? Yeah, I don't believe you. Take me to Black Adam. Oh, like you're the junior Justice League. He kind of had that kind of vibe going on with him. I don't really like that. I feel like that's a character flaw that he kind of had in Dark Crisis. But it's a flaw just as much as it's a strength, because he couldn't believe the Justice League would be defeated. So, I mean, it is what it is. But that being said, yeah, I don't know. That one's up in the air. That one's kind of interesting. Let's see. And plus, it would be also interesting to see them venture into the idea of like him and the Speed Force and how that interaction exactly worked down the way. I think that could be, we could follow up on that, and I think there could be some interesting moments to be had to discover exactly how those two power sets interwork with one another, and just to get an idea of like what it's like to have two people who are so in tune with like one of those cosmic forces start working with one another and like trying to use those powers together. I think that could be interesting territory. No mullet Superman, rockin'. no mullet Superman. We're done with that shit. That shit died in the 90s, okay? And we're gonna leave it there. Okay, let's see here. Ooh, new DLC for Elden Ring called Shadow of Erdtree. Let's go. That's pretty fire. Wally's a better choice now. I think narratively he's a better choice in the current moment. And the Fraction pulled up Murdered Iris. Okay, big rip. Killed by one-time villains. That is super unfortunate. But that being said, guys, we've been hanging out for a little while. So I think we are actually going to call it here. Thanks to everybody for coming and hanging out. It's been a blast memeing. I'll let you guys give out some last thoughts in the comment section down here. Let's see what you guys have to say on the way out.